My name's Pat. I am glad you are here this morning. This is my friend Mike. I've got Mike up here because he's an awesome guy. He runs a ministry that serves a homeless population. He helps with the setup team at 6 a.m. He helps set up another 100 chairs between first service and this service. You guys can always come early and help with that. Mike does lots of really, really cool stuff, but the thing I like most is he is always inviting people to be part of his spiritual journey, to join him in groups and places like that. One of the stories that stood out to me is he invited his Uber driver to something at New Life, and I thought, Mike, how do you get in a short ride in an Uber to an invitation? Tell us about that.
Well, my wife and I were on our way to the airport, and the conversation, it was a young guy, conversation turned to exercise and working out, and he said, do you know of a reasonable place to work out? I said, oh yeah, End Zone, it's right here. We were kind of going by Chantilly. And I said, I slipped in there, oh yeah, that's also where my church is. But then the conversation changed to just working out and this, and I said, oh, by the way, we have this thing called Men's Alliance on Saturday. I said, we work out, and then we light a bonfire, and we even talk about Jesus a little bit. And he said, oh, I'd be interested in doing that. So we traded phone numbers. And when I got back from my trip, I texted him, and after a few times, he accepted my invitation to come to Men's Alliance. He was a pretty good regular guy until he went to a regular attendee until he went to Alaska.
Yeah, very cool. But that's not an isolated story. You invite people all the time. You got two other real short stories.
Sure, yeah. There was a new guy to set up on Sunday morning, and after we set up, we were out in front, and I was just talking to him, and he was this big guy, and I said, hey, we do this men's workout on Saturday morning at 7 o'clock. It's called Men's Alliance. Would you like to join us? He thought about it, and we texted back and forth, and he finally came, and now he's like a regular. And the second thing is there was a baptism, and the guy, after he got baptized, I just walked up to introduce myself, and I introduced him. I invited him to go to Band of Brother, and he said his work schedule didn't work out because he worked Wednesday nights. And just 2 weeks ago, he texted me. He said his work changed, his schedule, and now he wants to know more about Band of Brothers, and he's probably going to come this next Wednesday.
What motivates you to be so invitational and keep inviting people into these groups and everything?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because I get a lot out of the small groups and just being around a bunch of men, and I just think it's, you never know where someone is in their journey with Christ or their journey, and they might be open for an invitation, and it might help bring them closer to Jesus.
That's great. So what would you challenge them with?
Just don't be afraid to just invite someone. You know, they can say no. It's not up to you to make them come, but the invitation, sometimes you never know where they are, and it's not hard. You just ask them, and they can, like I say, yes or no, and seems to work most of the time.
That's great stuff.